Happy
Hey
Devil
Welcome.
Sunday!
Welcome.
We never discussed who was going to do the intro with Sam not being here.
Clearly.
Yeah. Well, we've been
That's
off for
all
like,
good.
what, 3 weeks? We've been off pretty much from the big show since we were in Vegas together, right?
No, we did the show last weekend. Scotty and I think did the show last week. Yeah, we did. We definitely did.
The Devils played last. I thought the Devils played
Devils
last
played
Sunday
last weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devils After
Then
Dark.
the weekend before.
March
then the weekend
31st. March 31st.
March 31st. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wasn't on because I was
You were
going
in
to bed.
England. Jelly. Well done, Jellio. Welcome back.
Oh man, I can't think anymore. But yeah, sorry. So I missed the last one. So this is my first one since Vegas.
On the
With you guys,
mothership.
at least. Oh yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to another Rip Roaring edition of Let's Go Devils podcast. Whenever the hell the last time we were all on together, who knows? Who knows?
It's been a while.
Well, it's been a while, but we're here now together like a big old family.
Oh, yeah.
Talking some Devils hockey. So hello to everyone on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, wherever the hell you can get your Let's Go Devils podcast at. And hopefully you're cracking yourself an crew brew to, cheers this season goodbye. Bye.
Funny.
Goodbye. See you later.
Funny
Couldn't
you
even-
mention that.
Couldn't even
'Cause
play the spoiler. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Ah!
Look at
I
that
will be
beautiful
having-
can right there.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't talking about Shorts Guy's backside, but you know what? That's pretty beautiful as well. Let me tell you.
Oh, hey-oh.
I got a view of that in
Hey.
Arizona when he was jumping into the pool.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful
Floating in the
backside
background- Floating in the
Should go
background
with,
of Devils After Dark.
to go with Beer Baron's a beautiful belly. There it is.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, there's a
Tarps off
possibility that-
tonight. Tarps
No,
off
not
tonight.
tonight. I told you only if we win out. Only if we win out was I going to go tarps
No,
off.
if
but
we
hey,
lose out.
no.
Listen, we were teasing tarps off on Devils After Dark yesterday, me and
Oh, were
Sam
you?
Wu. So, yeah.
Ooh.
We
maybe-
were
maybe
teasing.
towards the end of the
We're,
podcast.
you
maybe
know,
the tarp will come off.
We were saying, hey, Sam and I were a little upset. You know, obviously we couldn't even
Set
play
the tone.
spoiler
Set the tone.
to the Philadelphia Flyers yesterday. And we were hoping we could to have our own little personal playoff by being a spoiler. And that failed
Can't even
miserably
do that. Can't even
by
do that.
getting
Good
shut
goaltending.
out by the team
Goaltending.
that has given up the most goals in the NHL since January. You think the Devils had goaltending issues. You haven't checked in with the Flyers, but naturally when they play the Devils, shut out. So
Yeah.
it was
Hey,
a
you know
tough
what?
one. There was some positives, but we figured we were going to get, Shorts Guy's take on it. Obviously Sam and I were going over a lot of things. Beer Baron, we were assuming you would be upset. You would be a little angry.
I am angry. Yes.
And we were assuming that there could be a possibility of tarps coming off before this show is done. So just want to warn all the kids out there who might be watching, tarps could come off.
Tarps can
maybe
come
the
off.
Maybe the tarp will come off tomorrow night at the last home game. Sounds like
Maybe it will.
Oh!
Oh yeah, maybe it will. Maybe
We'll
it
show
will.
all those
I will.
all those people in the lower level what it's really like to be a fan.
Yeah, I know, right? I am excited for the Timo Meyer bobblehead clock tomorrow. I am excited for that.
It's a
that is-
clock?
That's a good thing. It's a
Yeah,
clock.
it's a clock for Timo time.
Wow.
It's a clock.
All
Timo
right,
time.
that's good. I like that. So if can you hit his head and it goes like snooze?
I suppose so. Or you could hit its head and it'll be on the IR for a little while, like the Devils' MO this year. That's been the little thing that we've been doing. I will say this, not that I'm a Nostradamus or nothing like that, but I think a couple weeks back I kept saying something's wrong with Jack. Something's wrong with Jack. Jack ain't right. Jack ain't right. And then I kept saying he's probably going to go. You're going to watch it. And his last game when we were doing the game day live, I said, watch what's going to happen. The season's going to end, and Jack is going to get announced for shoulder surgery. And lo and behold, I didn't have to wait until the end of the year because, boom, Jack is getting shoulder surgery, which if you notice I had to slow that down because if I say it too fast, it's like I mumble and bumble over that. But
It's not
That's
not
a hard
shapes
one.
and colors.
oh, not shapes and colors indeed. But
I
he
think
is
he had,
yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, he had it already.
April
Yes,
10th, I
and
think
it was
he's
successful.
scheduled
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, it was because it was Tuesday. I was listening to the game.
But wait, hold on. I love when they always do that. They always go, Jack Hughes had a shoulder surgery and it was successful. Timo Meyer had this surgery. It was successful. I want to, like, you ever think they'd come out and be like, Bob Levy had knee surgery, not successful. It was not a success. We're going to have to circle back on that one. Left him on the cutting room floor. I just love it.
Sometimes they find out there's a different ailment than what they
I know.
thought, so that's all they mean, I believe.
Yeah.
And my guy, the impersonation I just did was apparently Casey Kasem for some odd weird reason. My brain just reaching back into the mid 90s.
You're gonna run through the top 40 for us as well?
Yeah, when the mid 90s was mid 90s
80s.
meaning like that was the SNL days of Dana Carvey, and that was one of Dana Carvey's specials.
And we received a letter from a young beer baron, and he writes.
and he writes, yes, that's going to do it.
You can still hear those reruns on the local radio station up here. They still play them every Sunday morning.
The top of the order.
They play them on the 80s channel on Sirius XM like every weekend. They have the Casey Kasem like top 40 channel, whatever it is.
Every Sunday morning they run through some top 40 from some week from a long time ago. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jack, I think everyone here at the Let's Go Devils podcast family had foreseen the Jack Hughes issue. It was pretty apparent that he was not at full strength. He was out there. He was trying to game it. He was trying to do what he could. But, I think it was more than obvious that he was ailing. We could debate in hindsight, should he have just, gotten the surgery earlier and just worked on rehab. But, where the Devils were for a long period of time, they were in contention. So I can see him trying to go out there. And, he wants to contribute to the team. So I get it. But yeah, I think that one was written in the books there that he was going to have some sort of announcement of an injury going on. But I will say Timo Meyer, now that he's finally healthy, it looks like the Timo Meyer that, we were all thinking we were going to acquire. I can't say that anyone probably thought at the end of the season here, he would, the way it started, that he would be tied for the team lead in goals and pushing 30. He's 27 now. Tie with Nico, tie with Jack, tie with Jesper.
Hat-trick tomorrow.
The core four.
Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing if he does get to that 30 mark. Jesper Bratt broke 80 points, which is a new career high for him.
Point per gamer, 82.
Yeah. Nico's turned out to have a pretty good season as well. He's pushing 30 goals.
Billy Dean's on the... Get out of here, Billy Dean. I see you.
Well, poor Billy Dean. We gave Billy Dean some love. We gave Billy Dean some love yesterday.
Billy Dean's going to be in the same position we are in about a week and a half. So, Billy Dean will be in a world of disappointment at the end of round one.
Well, we gave Billy Dean some love, and just so everyone knows, what was the positive that the Devils got shut out by the Flyers yesterday? Well, Billy Dean, noted Rangers fan, Billy Dean was playing against Harrison in his fantasy league. So if anything, Harrison shutting out the Devils hurt Billy Dean in his fantasy hockey league. So that's the one small token of glory we can take away from getting shut out by the Philadelphia Flyers.
Nothing but love.
Sorry, Billy.
Nothing but love.
Love you, buddy. Oh, Brad helped his fantasy team. Okay, good. All right. So there. Oh no. So we helped him out there. So, oh boy.
Yeah. Stupid Devils indeed. Stupid Devils indeed. Back on track though.
Noted Rangers.
Everyone in the chat, feel free to pile on Billy Dean. Go right ahead.
We love Billy.
He could take it.
He's been getting it from me for years.
Don't clip that.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
that's going to take it out of context. Real easy there.
Tarps off. Hey, tarps off to you, Billy. Tarps off to you. But going back to the team, the season was very underwhelming and disappointing for multiple reasons. Injuries that they just could not come over, or overcome rather. Timo Meier had some comments about, post Lindy Ruff, and I don't think he was taking any veiled shots at the coach, but he definitely was saying some comments that kind of like revealed or tipped his hand a little bit, where he was saying like, the communication between me and Green it feels a lot better. I feel more natural, and playing on my position. I feel like if I make a mistake, that I'm given the opportunity to go back out there and fix it. And he goes, "Don't clip that." I mean,
flip it.
It does seem like Timo is benefiting from being in a system that's more beneficial to him. I agree. There's a lot of factors that are going to go into next year with Jack coming back healthy, Timo, playing healthy, and also being in a position that, hopefully whatever the new coach is, whoever that coach is going to understand that he needs to be in. Nico's just been an absolute.
Don't get too comfortable with old Travie there, Timo, because I don't think that one's lasted too long. You got another day, basically, before that.
Yeah, the next communication you're going to have is being his pen pal when he gets shipped out to, like, Adirondack or wherever the hell he's going.
My Instagram is this. Please follow me and stay in touch, all right? Here you go.
Here's my handle, and here's a bobblehead for your going away present. Timo Meier. I like Timo. Timo sounds like a knucklehead too. But yeah, dude, I don't know. The team needs. There's a lot of things they got to address. The bottom six and the forwards. They got to address defensively. There's some things that they got to kind of tune up. We had conversations about them, and even Mike Rupp said it. And I know it's a super unpopular opinion, but making a trade where you're going to trade for somebody like a Brady Tkachuk, we're going to have to give up Bratter for that kind of piece. They need to get some kind of grit, but they don't need a McDermott kind of grit. They need a grit that's going to actually be able to, help out offensively or do something that's going to be a little bit more sustainable than just like, go out there and punch a dude in the face. So they have a lot of work to do in the offseason, and we'll see if Fitzy's up to the job.
I'm definitely going to tell Curtis McDermott that you
said Quinville. Shut up, Billy Dean.
So go. What did he say? Get Quinville. Oh, boy. All right, so Sam and I were talking about this last night, and that's why I was hoping to get your opinion on this, because when you look at things, obviously, the rumors are that Brady is not the happiest up in Ottawa, okay? But he does have a massive contract. It's like $8.2 million for the next 5 years, okay?
But that's on par to, like, go on, sorry.
Well, here's the thing. If you're gonna do something like that, okay, and we're not even saying that Ottawa is exploring this or whatever, we're just talking purely hypothetical here. You are more than likely going to have to give up someone. Now, I know the someone that I would like to give up, but I don't think anyone is going to go for that. Andre Palat. No, Andre Palat and his $6 million.
Yeah, $100 million. Yeah, I agree.
For his 12 goals on the year. That is the biggest eyesore to me. The problem that we are going to face is that Dougie Hamilton and his $9 million contract is going to be back next year. And that's going to come off the long-term cap. That's going to be a big one. And if you want to get a Brady Tkachuk, I don't see you trading Nico. I don't see you trading Timo.
No.
I don't see you trading Jack. I don't really want to trade Jesper Bratt, though, because look at him. 80 points this year. Anytime one of our guys is in a slump, you put him with Jesper Bratt, and all of a sudden, he comes out of that slump. Jesper Bratt's been a model of consistency this year. Would other teams like to have him? Abso-friggin-lutely. And also, I don't know if you saw it in that Flyers game, just for Brad getting back on defense and laying the shoulder boom down on whoever that was on Philly. Brad's not afraid of, he's not a big boy, but he'll get in there,
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's that $6 million Palat contract that if there is any way to get rid of that, that would be the one for me. But I would think Ottawa is gonna. I don't know if they would want. Would they take something like that with a couple first rounders as opposed to like a Bratt, a Mercer, a Holtz, something like that? I am not big into the idea of trading Alexander Holtz. Case in point, it's working out now, but look at what Fabian Zetterlund is doing in San Jose. Look at what Ahoytuk is doing over there. There's the beef that we're missing. Look at what Yegor Sharangovich is doing in Calgary. These are
Yegor's
all trades.
Yegor's the one. The other two, not so much. Not so much.
I get it, but I'm just saying, all these prospects that we used to have, they are dwindling. Where we had this big, awesome, system built. You got Nemitz already up there. He's not going anywhere. I don't believe Seamus Casey is going anywhere. Who else you got in the pipeline?
Ethan Edwards. There's other options. There's other options that you have, but I don't disagree.
That you're going to trade for a Brady Tkachuk, though? That's going to get you a Brady Tkachuk?
I know.
There's not like that superstar stud outside of like Seamus Casey in our pipeline. So would you be willing to like trade a couple first rounders? Because Ottawa is going to ask for a boatload to get Brady. And then you think about that. Man, you think about that top six. Holy hell. If you had
imagine Meyer and Tkachuk on the same line. Meyer and Tkachuk on the same line.
Split them up. Can you imagine if Tkachuk was with Jack and Eric Holla? And then you have Bratt, Nico, and Timo as your first line. Holy hell. That top six.
It would be a great top six.
Lethal. Yeah. And then if you have a Mercer, I don't know, he might be part of a package deal. And people are going to want a big goaltender as well. If you're going to get Saros, it's going to cost some money. You got to, but some of these contracts have got to go. And that Palat one, oh boy, that's going to be a doozy.
I'm all about draft picks. I'm all about them when you're in the middle of a rebuild or you're at the beginning of a rebuild. We're at the point where you could start taking those draft picks and you can start using them as commodity. And Short Sky, I don't know if you disagree with this, but this year's first round pick, which is going to be a top 10, next year's first round pick, which hopefully would be 32nd. The next couple of years, the goal is to be, if you're a perennial playoff team, that first round pick is going to be essentially almost like a second round pick because you're going to be picking later in the first round. So it's not even going to matter. And if you have great scouting, you can find gems littered throughout the first 6 rounds. Look at Jesper Bratt being a 6th round pick. And trust me, I understand that doesn't happen every day, but there are talent that falls, to the wayside where people are like, oh my God, I found this dude, 5-6 rounds deep in the draft. I'm in the belief that they should start using that draft capital and start using it to go get other players because the window's open right now. They need to be able to strike while they have Nico, Jack, and Timo, and even Jesper Bratt, for that matter, underneath the contracts that they have them under. Because if they wait too long, those contracts are going to start to come up to the end, and it's going to get to a point where we're going to be like, oh, crap, now we got to pay Jack next year, and he's going to want way the hell more than $8 million. So,
we're still a few years down the line from that. But also, you got to fix this defense, too.
Those years start.
Yeah, but you're like 5-6 years away from that. I mean, you got to fix the defense, too. You want to get a goaltender. You want to get a defender. And if you're going to try and squeeze a Brady Tkachuk in there as well, it just sucks that it looks like there's no way without getting rid of one of those core 4 on the offensive side. If you can move Dougie, I don't know if that's something, but at that $9 million contract, as soon as that comes off the long-term, cap hit or whatever it's called, the LTIR, once that comes off and that $9 million goes back on the books, I mean, that's a huge chunk of the cap room for next year.
Well,
gone.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. His contract never even went on LTIR, so it was basically like he was still here the entire time.
He didn't? I thought he got moved after he had the surgery.
No, he never got moved, and if it did, it was something that it was never even going to be used, because looking at cap friendly right now, the LTIR used is just under 400,000. So they must have never really moved him. He was on LTIR, but I don't think that they ever moved his salary officially there.
No, it's his salary relief, $9 million.
Yeah, but according to this, but we had that available, I believe, but we just never used it, because it's still his contract is still there. And he was always going to be contracted, so it's not like, it was off the books and now we got a clear space. But the cap is going up, I believe, what it is, $4 million for next season. So we are going to have some space. So your situation where you get rid of Palat, that'll open up $10 million.
Yeah, but good luck getting rid of him.
Yeah, I know. But
I think Dougie is on the long term. I mean, he, according to Cap Friendly, he's on the long term injured reserve, and it says salary relief $9 million.
But we never used that $9 million, so we could have used it, but we never went over and used that $9 million. That means that relief is there. That salary relief is available for us to use, which we never did. Whereas we would have been able to use up to that $9.5 million, but it doesn't come off the books. Essentially, we're still technically under the cap right now.
Ariel just pointed out something, that Palat has a no trade, which is a big deal.
No, he has a no movement. Starting July 1st, 2025, the player submits a 10-team trade list. So he has a no move clause. So yeah.
Could be a possibility. But
I don't know. I thought we did use because that's how we brought in McDermott, we brought in DeSimone, we brought in Jake Allen, we brought in
cheap.
Remember, we also got rid of $3.5 million from getting rid of VTech,
and we got we got relief from McLeod too.
But we also took on $3.5 million from Toffoli and Tanev in that 3-way deal for Chris Tanev. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, we're not over. We're actually under still. So it's our roster is set, underneath the cap. We could have used up to that $9.5 million, but we wound up getting relief for. It doesn't say how much we got relief for those two clowns, but we did get relief from them, whatever they were.
It was I think it was like 1.4. Like it wasn't a lot, but it was something.
Yeah, and the dead cap space for Toffoli and Tanev go away, so that 3.25 comes off the books at the end of this season.
But you got,
and as does the Corey Snyder comes off at the end of this season too. So we're actually going to be opening up some space.
Yeah, but
there's going to be room.
You got to sign Dawson Mercer. You're going to have to sign some sort of defenseman, and if you're going to go out and get Saros, that's going to cost you a pretty penny.
Yeah. So we have to be prepared to say goodbye to somebody, or a couple somebodies. So you know what? If anyone going to the game tomorrow, first off, come to American Whiskey and hang out with Beer Baron, Sam, myself. Buddy. I know Ted's going to go.
Tarps
I don't know who else is. Tarps off at American Whiskey tomorrow, but come and hang out with us. Have a good time tomorrow. Enjoy it. Enjoy this team. And this is the last time you're going to see this team as it is on the ice together, all in one place, because we're losing people this summer, especially if we're going to bring in someone like a goalie, like Saros, and if we're going to bring in a defenseman.
Tarps off and gloves off.
What they're going to be doing for next year, it's so hard to speculate, because but I do know the cap's going up, so we're going to have that. We're going to get rid of that cap space.
Evan, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Evan.
He wants to know where you're getting the Stadium Series customized. So, back-to-back super
hey,
chats.
Back to back.
This is going to go
South
towards
Fork,
funding our
South
trip
Squatch.
towards.
So Evan, if you want to reach out to me on the side, I am waiting for her to get it back. I did send it out to a
We
place
should do a
that's kind
call-in
of
show.
it's local, and I'm still waiting to get it back. So I don't want to give any recommendations or any shout outs until I have it back. So Evan, if you want to reach out to me on the side, I'll gladly tell you. But
Michael's tarp is off.
talk
I
to
was
me tomorrow,
listening.
Evan.
Tarp's off.
Evan, if you're going tomorrow, talk to me tomorrow at American Whiskey. I'll tell you more there because I don't want to give a shout out to a company that I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be good, but I don't know because I haven't received it back yet. Yeah.
Oof. Like
Although
endorsing a blind date.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. The company I sent it to is the official they were actually on the news not too long ago. They're actually the official stitching house for the New York Mets. So I trust their work is going to be pretty solid.
And they've been complaining about Fanatics too.
Everyone's complaining about Fanatics, but this company has actually been doing the Mets stuff, and they actually do the fish stick stuff, which is a shame, but it is what it is. They're kind of in that area. So yeah, Evan, talk to me tomorrow at AW. I'll tell you a little bit more. I don't want to give any online shout outs yet.
Also, I do agree, and maybe that's something we could talk to Sam off air about possibly doing over the off season, because guess what we're going to be doing, folks? We're going to be looking at prospects. Whoa, so much fun.
No, I mean, great. First thing we're going to be looking at is a new coach. So there's going to be plenty of stuff to talk about in this offseason.
We'll do the call-in show when we get a new coach, and we'll be like, hey, what do you think of running back so-and-so who's a retread from some other team? Listen, we got a lot of things to do in the
I'm hoping every coach is on another team, okay? Yeah.
No more first-timers. You get a fresh guy, nice fresh guy, fresh out of the out of the collegiates or fresh out of like the Europe circuit or something. I don't know, man. Just not I don't want Lindy Ruff 2.0 is pretty much what I'm getting to. Playoffs. But yeah, listen, there's going to be a lot we're going to talk about, the coaching. We're going to talk about like the draft lottery, because how crazy would that be if we hit that draft lottery again? But I'd be kind of remiss to say I would like to talk about something that is near and dear to us now.
Hey, Igor Sharangovich scored again.
Yeah, buddy. What is he at, like 32 now?
I think so. 32 or 33. They just put it in the back of the net. They're playing the old the Salt Lake City Yotes.
Yeah, well, that and nice segue, because that's exactly what I was just about to talk about. About the relocation. We're going to talk about the relocation of the Arizona former ASU Coyotes,
soon to be,
and how they're going to be going to, they're going to be the Utah Soakers, according to Billy Dean. They're going to be the Arches. They're going to be the Arches or something like that. They're going to be the Utah Arches.
Someone had
put Salt Lake City Zions.
Yeah.
Beehives, the bees. It's all out there. The jokes are all there.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
The trumpets to go with the Jazz. The Salt Lake City trumpet.
It could be the Salt Lake City. What music doesn't make sense here? Just like the Jazz doesn't make
all
sense.
Of it.
With the triangles.
Oh, we're the Salt Lake City Whalers, because the whaling industry is huge out in this area.
Yeah,
come on down. They don't care. We took anyways, but
Salt Lake City.
I gotta tell you.
Shakers.
So, before the season
Utah
started,
Wives.
The Wives. That's a good one. What's that idiot in the show with the curly hair? What's that guy's good name? I can't remember his name is.
The idiot in the show with the curly hair. Can you be any more big?
He's got like multiple wives. I don't know. Anyways, we're going off the rails.
Utah polygamists. That's what it should be. Utah polygamists.
That's what I was looking for. Come to the game with your wife or wives. Some days they'll have like multiple seats for that. Anyways, so
You call them the
I
2%ers because all their alcohol content is only 2% up there in Utah.
Oh, is it
God,
really?
lame?
Oh,
Yeah, you don't remember that? Like all the
I-
Europeans came in for the Olympics that year, and they were like, "Oh, they only
sister wife.
don't have alcohol up
Thank you,
here."
LB.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. When I was in England, I struggled to find any beer that was more than 4.8%, which was shocking to me. I think the highest alcohol content I got was a cider.
I think it's called drinking the piss.
It was a good time
What?
over there.
Ew,
though.
gross.
That's
So,
what they say
anywho's,
in England.
nice way to segue into this one. So, before the season began, Shorts Guy looked at the schedule and he suggested, because he went the year before, he went to the Mullet, and he was like, "Guys, we should do a show out in Arizona because they're going to do Arizona and Vegas. We could do a back-to-back." And he kind of like floated the idea. All of us were like, "Yeah, let's do that. Sounds like a great idea." And it was probably one of the funnest things I've done in a long time. Going to the Mullet and then going to Vegas. Outside of the Devils losing both games, because I thought they'd at least win in Arizona, which is, we've talked about it before. It's still one of the most disappointing things. Like 70% Devil fans in that arena. It would have blown up. There was cops already standing by us. It was tarps were halfway off.
Standing by you.
I mean,
standing by you, buddy.
Standing by you.
You.
Standing by you in Group 5 over there.
Yeah.
Group 5. But I am so happy that we took the opportunity to go do that, and it's sad to see that the experiment in Arizona didn't work. It did bring us Austin Matthews, so thank you, Coyotes, for birthing Austin Matthews into the NHL. But hey, listen, there's supposedly there's an opportunity there that they're going to be able to go back, just like Atlanta, like the old, yeah, sure, we'll let you have a team back one day. Don't worry about it, pal. Like, just build yourself an arena.
It'll fail again.
It will fail again, but I think it's not a great move, but it's a good move because it gives Colorado a team that's going to be a little bit closer. They're going to have like a natural rival hopefully with the Utah Soakers. Their mascot's going to be a little questionable, but I like the fact that we got a chance to go and do that, and we got to go out to the Mullet was like such a cool experience, and it's kind of a bummer that more people didn't get a chance to go do that. Supposedly the tickets are going out of control for the last game there. People are like trying to buy as many, jerseys or whatever. They're going to like, oh, this is going to be vintage one day. I don't know, man. It's weird. I can't imagine, because we had that at one point as a Devils fan. If you're old enough, like we are, in the 90s, where the Devils are going to relocate to Nashville and they just won a cup. And there was still like the Star Ledger every day putting out the report like, oh, the Devils are possibly going to move. It was heartbreaking. And I can't imagine being a fan of a team where you're devoted to like the way we are to our team and just watching them get relocated to a completely another state. So my question is a long about story that I have for you guys is, God forbid this team that we love so dearly ever got relocated. Would you follow them to wherever they're going, or would you abandon hockey, or would you find a local team to go behind? And Billy Dean better not be listening, because I don't want to hear it.
Well, I don't think the Devils franchise is moving anywhere.
No. I'm just saying hypothetically.
I would probably follow them, but also, for the Coyotes fans, like we just said, they couldn't fill the Mullet Arena with a capacity of 6,000. 70% was Devils fans at that arena. So I really don't think there's going to be too many people missing this. And to be quite honest with you, they were so behind in their bills at the other arenas. Like, it was just terrible. Yeah. I had a friend who worked there, and it was just, he would just say it was a nightmare dealing with them. So it was just, it's time to move on. Like, it was fun when they had Teemu and Jeremy Roenick and everything like that, but they didn't.
Yeah. And
the little mini city that they want to build is not. They already have 3 arenas in the area. Why do they need another arena like right there? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm saying move them to a city where people are going to be happy, that want a sports franchise. There's some sports happy towns. I mean, Salt Lake City, I'm sure they're going to love, whatever the Soakers or whatever the hell they're going to be up there. A town like Kansas City,
Super Soaker on the front of their jersey.
Yeah, but there's plenty of places other than friggin' Phoenix and Atlanta. You can even put them in, if you want a warm weather, you can put them in Houston.
Houston would have been good.
That is a sports mad, crazy city over there, They'll get, people in the arena for that. Phoenix and Atlanta, it hasn't worked multiple times. Why Bettman continues to push this, I really don't get it. But
markets. TV market, the perceived TV markets is what that's the only thing he's looking at. He's looking at numbers and markets and market.
He's friends with Ted Turner.
Yeah. But then he ignores someplace like Houston.
Yeah. Ted Turner's like, bring him back. Yo! Pew, 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 pew. Bring him back to Atlanta.
Like Yosemite
I'm sure
Sam.
That's what Ted Turner sounds like. Yeah. My impersonation.
I will say this,
dude. And I see. Okay.
I will say this about being at the Mullet. Aside from everything else we experienced,
Ew,
I don't think I ever laughed. I do not think that I laughed. I've laughed harder in a long time than you and your rant walking back to the house.
I need to watch it at least once. I haven't seen the actual. It echoes in the halls of ASU to this day. Some people in New Jersey are like, you hear that seismic activity we had recently? People in ASU are like, do you remember that seismic activity? And they've honed it down to a fat guy walking down without his shirt on in the middle of campus, yelling about how his team took a giant dump. They traveled halfway across.
Hey, do you like hockey? No? Good. Because my team is terrible. I tell you why I hate it right now.
Oh man,
you can't replay that. You can't replay it. There's too many things.
There's a shirtless man that looks like that comedian walking through the campus. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
Wait, Bert Kreischer's here today? I didn't know Bert
Kreischer's on tour. And he's ripping up the middle of ASU. He ain't happy. He's not happy. I'll tell you that. He's not happy. But listen, I'll be interested to see how it's going to end up in Utah, because Utah is, the Jazz have been able to sustain life, since they moved there. Mm-hmm. I never understood why I think they were. God, I don't know where they were originally. I know they were not originally the Utah Jazz. They came from somebody else, and they just kept the Jazz name for whatever reason. That's a lazy move. So we'll see if they're going to be the Utah Coyotes, or if they're going to be the Utah Soakers, or the Utah Gulls, or whatever they're going to be.
Utah Coyotes would make sense. It is a high.
It wouldn't be bad. So. It wouldn't be bad. They can't be anything snow related, because the Avalanche will bitch about that.
Wow.
But
they've
from New
had
Orleans.
A successful.
Thank you, Arnez.
They've had a successful hockey franchise with the Utah Grizzlies there for years, and now people are starting to worry that the Grizzlies may be done. The Utah Grizzlies have been there for a long time. They may be ECHL. I'm not quite sure what division they're in, but the Utah Grizzlies have been pretty successful and pretty well followed for a while. The Utah Salt.
Yo. I was just looking at that, and on the front of their jersey is that douchebag that has he drops salt down his elbow. That's their logo.
Well, just a little bit of salt on it.
And they're like, I'm wearing his stupid sunglasses. Punch him right in his salty face. It's and another reason I brought this up too is because I'm looking at. I can't wait for the schedule to come out next year, because when we do plan, and I think this is something that we've all talked about, of trying to pick another city that we would like to go out to and do another live podcast at. Salt Lake. Yeah, there you go. The salted nuts, these nuts. So wherever we figure out we want to go, I don't think Utah is going to be at the top of the list, but you never know. But where are some the top 3 cities that you guys would like to try to visit within the next year? I know Toronto we've talked about. We talked about
I would love to
Montreal,
do-
a good fun place.
I would love to. Well, Nashville would be a blast.
Nashville would be
I
fun.
would also love to do the Seattle, Vancouver.
Seattle's
right
awesome, dude. I've been to Seattle. Their
Vancouver.
arenas, and you walk down into it. It's like so weird. Such a cool stadium.
Nashville
weird.
would be a
Seattle
blast,
would be
though.
fun.
I would love
Yeah.
to do Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg would be fun.
Yeah, the Peg.
Just
I wonder what
Peg,
they got
it's gotta
going on.
It's just got to be October or April because anywhere between
Some
October
moose.
and April, and it's
you can see the local moose. Like
Tarps up, or fuck, we're gonna wrestle a moose.
tarps off in Winnipeg.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
YouTube that. It's Beer Baron
God.
drunk after the game, wrestling a moose,
Cursing up a storm.
Yeah.
Cursing up a storm, getting beaten up by. But
See
the reason
the-
why I say this too
Pick a
is like,
ball up and
you know,
just poof, and then Beer Baron go flying across the
you see me going up and they're like twirling around. Because the next time we do this, the next time we do a trip, I think what we're going to do is we're going to extend the olive branch out to our fans and really we'll try to make this a big event because I think it'd be so much fun to overtake it.
Oh, totally.
You know, like when we were in Arizona, that was so much fun. But Short Sky shows us videos from soccer games, and when he was in England, he showed us a video from when he was at a soccer game. And I'll let you talk about that in a minute, but like that environment of like having all those people and just like everybody getting like into it. If we could recreate something like that, where we could take over an arena, not that big, but like in a smaller.
Hey, we can recreate something like the Premiership League
Like
in
massive.
England, over here, so get maybe like 60,000 fans to come out and sing and get drunk together,
Everybody,
good
beat
idea.
your chest. Beat your chest. Watch the nipples,
Well, you really set the bar high over there.
I know. And if you guys don't come out, I'll be pissed. That'll be super disappointing. Like the season that we just had to witness. But go on, Short Sky. Tell us a little bit about what our expectations are for when we bring people out to a game.
I mean, I would love for us to get enough people out there to just kind of take over an arena. I think that would be fantastic. And I would definitely love to just get a lot of people out to one thing and to one
like
place,
Minnesota,
one
Max.
away game, and it would be a lot of fun. But it's just a matter of the organization. It's hard to compare it to soccer, but I mean, you look at European hockey games and they do some of the same things, but it's a matter of they go nuts at European hockey games. All European fans go nuts the same way for every single sport. And the only comparison in this country, aside from a little bit of MLS, is college football. That's about it. But it's just a matter of getting all the it's unfortunately the Devils fan base is quite fractured, and that's no secret to anybody.
Bunch of nerds.
But the Devils fan base is so fractured. Just to get everyone to sit in the same section would be a victory. So
we'll start it.
I would love that.
We're the podcast that
love
brings everyone together. We
I would
bring
love
them
that,
all
but-
together.
Making
It would be a
winning
lot of fun.
memories one crew at a time, one brew at a time with And Crew Brew.
Yeah.
See,
And Crew Brew.
Sam Wu's been preaching it for all these months now.
He has been.
Oh,
But
Nashville, Tampa. That would be a good one, Chris.
I would love to go to
Nashville,
Tampa, and
Tampa.
that would be
cool.
fun because we can get Schwim from Hockey on Tap to come down. That's his team.
Well,
But
those,
Nashville, I
those
think,
boys
would
are
be a
automatically going
really
to
good-
irregardless.
Oh, I know they're automatically going. But I think Nashville would be the best. It would be a good time, but just to get everyone to come out in one big trip, I think would be a ton of fun. So
No, the prodigal
Oh
son.
no, Dad's here! Dad's
Look
here!
out.
Somebody, Dad's here!
Hey.
Here. Hi, Dad.
Hey, I just filed the taxes. All right, I'm back.
Oh, good,
Oh.
good.
Good.
Oh, good.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you waited to file your taxes while we're live on the air. That's fantastic, Sam Wu. Way
Yeah.
to be producer of the year
Yeah.
over there.
By the
Days
way,
away from April
Hmm.
16th.
in Tampa, if we
fine.
do a Tampa trip, guys, remember we did broadcast Nick Villano and I at Amalie Arena at Thunder Alley last time. We could do it again.
Let's do it again.
We could.
We could do it again.
Ooh, Chicago,
But-
Columbus. That's another idea too.
Chicago would be fun. Columbus.
Vinny,
But listen,
so So Vinny made a great point. If for some reason the Devils play Chicago and then like a day or two later would be the outdoor game in Columbus. Fun series of games to hit up. That would be definitely cool. But if we go to Chicago, Chicago's on my list to go to next year, just to go out there and do game day live with Vinny from. He was talking about a pretty sweet hockey bar out there.
Great atmosphere. I've been to 2 Blackhawks games. Yeah, it was an amazing atmosphere. It was really good.
Am I going to sit in Group 5 at the United Center?
1,000%.
Yes,
you would have to.
Yeah,
you would have to sit.
They also have the standing room only up at the top section there.
It better be better than Vegas.
It is.
Standing. First of all, Vegas, and this is something that we didn't talk about much, but Vegas was, yes, it's pomp and circumstance. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It's amazing. Everything is like, they have like the freaking knights fighting in the middle. It's like medieval times meets hockey. It was great. But we had standing room seats at the top of the arena. We haven't given Scotty enough crap about it because the seats were horrible. Anybody that leaned an inch forward blocked half of the ice. So whatever moron designed that arena was like, oh, yeah, standing room, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They needed to make that a foot higher so you could have the sight line over top of people. We had a group of, like, brownie mothers in front of us who were the most obnoxious.
That was the best part. Was the Girl Scout troop talking crap to Sam Wu. That was the best part of the night.
Yeah.
Vegas fans,
old Girl Scouts talking smack to Sam.
Yeah, talking
Vegas
smack
fans,
to Sam after he disappeared. Just conveniently.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, hey, listen, no.
Conveniently let the snake let up a goal.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, those girls let us have it. Those old brownies let us have it.
Big time.
Oh yeah,
but it wasn't just them. There was season ticket holders, and I had to say this, and I've been holding this back since we got back from this trip. Vegas fans, if that is the representation of who you are as fans, that was horrible. That was horrible. They were terrible people. People.
You didn't like the Girl Scouts? I mean, hey, they had some spirit, that's for sure. They were coming at Sam with those little pins
spirit, all right.
that they get. You know, you get those little pins for each little.
They got a badge. They got a badge for heckling that day. They earned their.
Yeah, they made them into like brass knuckles with like a pin thing like sticking out, and they were coming for Sam.
They were,
but they were, Vegas fans. They don't understand what it means to struggle. They've never been through like a 10-year stretch.
Fan base when that happens.
Oh, they won't. Struggle. The NHL won't let it happen. You understand that? They'll let Mark Stone show up like in the playoffs. Like, Mark, you just go skate this local rink that nobody knows about, and then show up when it's the playoffs, and you'll be fine.
Yes, Max. The Girl Scout troop got a heckling merit badge afterwards. It was just a picture of Sam's face, just on there, like.
You've been snake bitten.
A picture of Sam's face.
Snake bitten. Yeah.
Just Sam getting called out, and then us taking the brunt for it. Yep. That guy that pointed in our face. There's like this woman, and she like she goes, "Yeah, like pointing in our face."
Ooh, Grandma? Was that Grandma?
Yeah, and I look over to Sam to be like, "What the hell is happening right now?" Because it was only tied 1-1. It wasn't like, and that was the best part. To Sam's credit, he didn't curse. He wasn't me. He wasn't saying obscene things.
I was just cheering for my team. Cheering for my guy.
His team. Super pumped for Jake Allen. That's it. That's all. And the Jake the Snake thing that he started that the Devils ripped off, which they always do. And then just Sam running with it. And then the fans turning around when they scored and it tied it up 1-1. The vitriol that just came gushing out. People, this one guy looked at me and goes, and I'm not going to stand on line, but he goes like, F Jake Allen. F him, he sucked. And I look at him, I'm like, whoa. You guys have it pretty that you've been in the playoffs almost every single year, cups twice and won it once, but relax. Your years of fertility will come. It will happen eventually. And then when we come to your arena and there's like 15,000 people there instead of your full our 50-50 is up to $40,000 that Shorts guy and I spent money. We didn't win. But that's another story for another day.
Hey, at least you got to be in it to win it.
Got to be in it to win it. Oh, God. It was still a hell of a time.
Vegas Part 2 next year.
Like when Billy Dean took over to the Hooters. Billy Dean took us over to the Hooters place to play blackjack at like 11 o'clock at night. He says $5 tables.
Yeah, and poor little Steve, I could just see his body just shutting down
He
from
was
top to
shutting
bottom.
down.
Like the lights were going out from the top floor, and they're just like every floor.
You see the
on way down.
janitor just walking by, clicking off each
Shutting
level.
out all the lights from top to bottom.
Yeah.
He was shutting
Working
down.
late,
shutting
Roy.
down hard.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
It was a good time.
But it was good. Yeah. So next year, Nashville, right? Full on takeover.
Nashville, yeah. I would love to
So
go.
as soon as-
I need an excuse to go back to Nashville, so I'm kind of hoping it's a weekend. I'm kind of hoping we can.
Chris, exactly. Chris Boker just said Indian Casino 123 War. Yeah, we were on the verge of that at one point. I was waiting for the guess what number I'm thinking of in the place that we ended up at.
That was a good casino. I forget the dealer's name. Eleanor, I think it was.
She was
She
awesome.
was really nice. She was nice to us.
Yeah, until they
Really
brought the
helped us
cooler
out.
in after her.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, here comes the Mariano Rivera of blackjack tables. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Here we go. As we're just sitting here hitting dingers.
At one point, I was up. Then I
Quickly down.
Yeah.
Quickly down.
Yeah. Should have cashed out a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
I was
You
one
know,
and
you live
done.
in your life.
I was one
yeah,
and
we know
done.
you're.
I sat
Yeah.
down and then I got back up.
That was like beer baron the
$75,000
next.
hand.
That was like beer baron the next morning. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna go for a walk," and he came back 5 minutes later. He's like, "Well, I just lost
That
$30
was quick. On one turn.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
it.
And as Steve and I are waiting for our coffee, you disappear and come back. You're like, "Well, lost more money."
No, that was no. That was once, and then we took the walk to the Excalibur, and then I put it down on a roulette
Yes, you
table,
did.
$20 on a roulette table, and it went. I was like, $20 on black, and she goes red, and I go, see you later, and that was that.
Oh,
It was fun.
That was a good
Yeah, I
time.
got to get those Uncle Eddie white shoes. That's what I want to get. But yeah, in all seriousness, what we need to do though is next year when I guess when the schedule comes out and we can start to figure this out and really have real conversations
Oh,
about
yeah.
it, is we need to really start spreading the word, and we got to buy up some tickets. And like, I don't know. I know the Devils are cool about selling whole sections to, other teams. I wonder if other teams are cool about doing that too. Maybe we can do a group photo on the middle of their ice like the Devils do for Ranger
Yeah,
fans and Islander fans.
well, as soon as that schedule comes out, and unfortunately it may be delayed because of these stupid Utah salt shakers and
Yeah.
figuring out what they're going to do. So we'll see.
If
You
they're
know,
the Holy
we'll look
Rollers.
this- Yeah, that's a good one. Just
The
let
saltines.
Yeah.
let what's their name? What's their names from South Park? Figure out the team name and logo.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's too good.
The Colts.
Hmm,
The Colt 45s, that'd be cool.
that would be cool.
Oh.
Well,
Anthropologists.
I think we've come to the almost to the end here. We've been having a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, the Utah Dino Bones. That's
The
what
Randy
we'll
Marshes.
Just start shouting out Utah names. Where's their bird is a seagull for some odd weird reason.
Is
So
it
they
really?
might be this. Yeah, it is. I'm not kidding. Their state bird is like the seagull. They're like, hey, what's a good bird? And they look around and they're like, I don't know. I got like 8 wives. I can't even think of birds right now. A seagull. All right. Frank got it. It's a seagull.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's oh my god.
We're the Utah Uters.
The
We're
jumbo,
Uter.
the jumbotron. Guess how many wives this guy?
Oh boy.
What is this guy only got 1 wife? What a loser, something like that. When how they do the opposing team, opposing team cam when they zoom in on somebody with like an opposing uniform on, they're like, oh, these guys only got 1 wife, and everybody boos them. And then the mascot comes out with like 7 wives.
I can tell you what away trip we're not doing next year.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a screen grab of this episode.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a screen grab of this episode hanging up in the Salt Lake City airport.
Yeah.
Do not
Yep.
allow these four.
Oh, even they cut out. They already got Shorts guy. They got him already. Oh,
Yeah, I know. It's
Right
gonna be-
underneath
allow
Rod
these-
Brindamore. The cross
Yeah.
out of Rod Brindamore, it'll be anyone from the Salt Lake City Soakers, you know? There's just a line right through. No interviews.
Oh yeah, we're not allowed. There's no Mr. VIP Sam Wu will even not be allowed in there.
Yeah.
No, Sam, if we would have had some forethought, that would have been a great clip to close this show with. That video of you being called a VIP.
Yeah, it could have been. Could have been.
Could have been. But
Uh,
you can go to
next year's trip is gonna be-
joinourcrew.com. Joinourcrew.com for next year's road trips.
Oh
For
yeah,
the
wait
latest.
Next year. As soon as that schedule comes out, I'm going to be looking at it and figure out where we can go and when we can go. And man, even at like small trips, I'd like to do a couple smaller trips away, like to Tampa if it's on a weekend.
Let's
or
go to
Chicago.
Utica.
Like,
Support the U.
hey, I'll go to Utica. We can go up there. We can go to Saranac. Saranac's in up there in Utica.
Yep. That'd be fun. That'd be
Montreal?
fun. Bring
Montreal.
the crew.
Montreal would be great. I would love to go back to Montreal for a match.
Yeah, and I'll wear my jersey because apparently my jersey with my name on the back means like "FU." So that's fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. They'll be like, "That's not your real last name." I'm like, "Here's my license," and they're like, "Oh, cool. Take pictures with us." Like, it's going to be hard to do that with my tarps off, pal.
You know
French
what?
Canadian guy.
Maybe you can find a local tattoo artist to tattoo your last name on your back, so when you go tarps off in Montreal, they'll still know.
Man, they'll know. It's cream filled.
But you got to find a tattoo artist first.
Luckily, I'm married to one.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Here we go.
All right.
The Utah
So
Lord
now that
have mercy.
we've
Now that we've been banned from Utah,
yeah.
there's
Final
only
thoughts.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts. Tomorrow. Listen, we say adieu to this crumb bag of a season, this disappointment, this blind date of a hockey year for us. It was supposed to be playoff contention, not even playoff contention, Stanley Cup deep playoff contention. And the hockey gods looked at that and they said, how about you guys go take a short walk or a long walk off a shore pier, because it ain't going to happen. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of things that happened. The coaching, the goaltending, it was just a hot mess. But I will say this. Fitzgerald has the bones to make a good team. He has a good core of this team. You have Luke Hughes, who had an entire season of experience. You have Simone Nemec, an entire season of experience that next year they can carry with them and hopefully take those strides to be better and go forth and be the top four defensemen of this team. You plug in a couple of things in the bottom six, you fix a little bit of defense, maybe go after Saros in the offseason. There's some things that this team needs to do, but I feel like they're going in the right direction, even though this team and this season was disappointing. Have faith, because Sam Wu once said 2025 is the Devil's year.
All right.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, just, let's try to give the team a nice little send-off here on Monday. Yeah, it was a disappointing season, and everyone's got their issues with it. But we have seen some improvement from some of our core players there. Like we've mentioned, Jesper Bratt hitting 80 points, Timo Meier really kicking it into gear, Nico Hischier as well. The improvement of Luke Hughes and Nemec, through the course of the season, where we saw so many rookie mistakes at the beginning. You've seen a lot of those cleaned up, here as the season has progressed. Obviously, too little too late on a lot of these things. But we have seen some positives, especially between the pipes with Jake the Snake and Kakinen. They have both been absolutely stellar, You really can't get on Kakinen for that 1-0 shutout, against the Flyers yesterday. He played very well. The Flyers block a lot of shots, and the Devils had to figure out how to get there, and that's a John Tortorella team. But either way, we'll give him a nice send-off. It's been a disappointing season, we get that, but they can come back better and stronger next year. And Fitzy, if you're not thinking about it already, you better get working. You better get working, dude, because now this is on you. I feel like this has got to be on you, because we've had these coaches, we've had the goaltending issues, whatever. You have the core. You need to get those right supplemental pieces to put in there. Mm-hmm. So looking at you this offseason, Fitzy, coach, goalie, defense, bottom six. If you make a big splash, you make a big splash with a Kachuk, but there needs to be some improvements, and you can't just put it all on the players here. You got to have the right players in place. So, Fitzy, looking for a big offseason from you.
Yeah, I would pretty much just be echoing what you just said, Scotty, but I'm sure we'll have a big post-mortem episode next week once the season's officially done and over with. All I'm going to say is anyone going to the game tomorrow, come on out to American Whiskey. I know Ted's coming out. I'm assuming Tom will be there, and anyone else that's going tomorrow, come hang out with Beer Baron Sam and myself and everyone else that's going to be there. It'll be good to be there one last time until October, until mid-October, after the Devils come back from Europe, which hopefully we'll make it out there. I know I'm definitely ready to go back to Europe. Unfortunately, could not meet up with Justin and Jake out there, so I'll have to do that next time. Big fans of ours out there in London, so too bad couldn't do that, but we'll do that next time. And I'm just looking to have a good time tomorrow with all our friends, and just see this out one last time, give this team one last pop, because this is the last time we're seeing this exact team on the ice tomorrow night. It's going to be some changes. If we want to bring in these big moves like you're mentioning, Scotty, we're going to have to say goodbye to a couple people. So let's give them a good send-off tomorrow. I'm hoping I can get a Timo Meier bobblehead / clock / whatever it is tomorrow, but I'm not hopeful I'll be in early enough to do it. But hey, let's go tomorrow and have a good time. Let's all have one more hand crew brew together tomorrow before the season ends up, and have a good time. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
at American Whiskey. JoinOurCrew.com. And just remember, there is no off season here with the Let's Go Devils podcast. So we will. Also, I want to address. I think NY Davey yesterday asked me about the morning woo. Can we have it during the off season and all?
You can see a doctor about that.
I'm working on something, but I've had a couple life changes recently, so trying to schedule that in is a little tough, but I'm thinking of something. So I didn't forget about that, but more news forthcoming about that. So that's all I have to say.
All right.
Yeah, Game Day Live and Devils After Dark, the season finale, tomorrow at American Whiskey. Be there or be square. Till next time, let's go Devils.